Hi, Scary Recaps here. Today, I'm going to explain the movie The Invitation from 2015. Beware of spoilers. The film begins with Will and his girlfriend, Kira. They are driving to the Hollywood Hills where they are invited to a dinner party hosted by Will's ex-wife, Eden. On their way there, Will accidentally hits a coyote with his car. The animal is in agony and Will kills it with a tire iron to end its suffering. Arriving at the place, Will has a vision, a flashback of some sort, a little boy sitting in the living room. Afterwards, Will and Kira are greeted by Eden and her new husband, David. Other guests are there as well: Gina, Claire and Ben, Tommy and his boyfriend Miguel. Will hasn't seen these people for 2 years. Gina says that her boyfriend, Choi, hasn't arrived yet and he is late. David speaks with Will and says that this evening is going to be splendid. Wine is served, and as everyone makes a toast, Will notices a half-naked woman staring at him from a room. The woman, whose name is Sadie, presently joins the company, and Eden introduces her, saying that she and David met Sadie in Mexico. Kira mentions the coyote incident, and David reprimands Will for it. Later, Will goes to the kitchen and he has a flashback seeing a depressive Eden trying to kill herself with a knife. Eden then walks in the kitchen and speaks with Will about her trip in Mexico. She says that she is no longer in pain and feels free. Ben enters the kitchen shortly and teases Eden about her new philosophy on life, at which Eden gets angry and slaps him in the face. Eden leaves and Ben tries to have casual chat with Will. Afterwards, Eden apologizes to Ben and offers him a drink. Meanwhile, Claire has a discussion with Will. A friend of Eden and David's, named Pruitt, arrives at the house. Gina complains about the mobile service not working there and repeats that Choi is late. David then goes and locks the front door, saying that there was a home invasion in the hills a month earlier. Will is unsettled by this and asks David to leave the key in the door in case of an emergency. David agrees, and Eden asks of Will to go and fetch some wood for the fireplace. Will has another flashback of a boy having a birthday party. He notices Eden going in and out of her bedroom, and Will sneaks in to get some pills from her nightstand. Another flashback occurs in which Will sees his son saying goodnight to him and Eden. Back in the living room, everyone is talking about Eden, David, Pruitt, and Sadie being members of a cult called The Invitation, which they joined when they were in Mexico. The rest are taking it easy, laughing and teasing them. David explains the philosophy of the cult, stating that it has thousands of members worldwide, and that its purpose is to help people get over their grief. He even shows them a video where recruitment is taking place. At the beginning of the footage, the leader of the so-called cult is saying that the human brain can heal itself effectively. Later, a woman is seen laying in bed, surrounded by members of the cult who motivate her to kill herself. The rest of the group in the living room is unsettled by this, and Eden tries to explain that the woman in the video was sick and that her death was kind of an example to the rest of the members who were fighting with their pain. David backs her up, citing his problem with drugs. Suddenly, the doorbell rings. David and Pruitt talk to some neighbors and return. Will is curious to know what the neighbors wanted, but David informs him that they were looking for a party. Later, Will shows the pills to Miguel, who is a doctor, and he tells him that they contain barbiturate phenobarbital, which can be dangerous in high doses. Will is suspicious of the purpose of the dinner party, but Tommy tells him that there's nothing wrong with it. Afterwards, the group plays a game called I Want, in which Sadie kisses Gina and Ben on the lips, and Pruitt says that he unintentionally killed his wife Margaret. He admits that the invitation has helped him a lot in dealing with his pain. But Claire feels uncomfortable with all this talk about the cult and expresses her desire to leave. David is against it, but Will says that if Claire wants to leave, that there's nothing stopping her. Pruitt mentions that there is a car blocking Claire's car, and both he and Claire walk out of the house. Pruitt moves his car, but before Claire can leave, he stops to talk to her. Will is watching them from the window. doubtful enough as to the intentions of everyone there, but he is interrupted by David, who wants to know why Will is so suspicious. Will answers that he wasn't ready to return to his old house. After the dinner, Will goes to the backyard to check why Choi isn't there yet. Sadie approaches him and offers to have sex with her. Will declines and walks back inside the house. Tommy says to Will that his strange behaviour is making everyone uncomfortable. Will nods, saying that he will stop acting weird, and hugs Tommy. Afterwards, Will gets a voicemail from Choi saying that he is outside the house. Will joins the rest of the group, and Eden presents Miguel with a birthday cake. Will asks where Choi is, but Eden says he never got there. Will gets angry and declares that the Invitation is a brainwashing cult that erases people's painful memories. The door rings then, and Choi appears, making Will look like a crazy man. Will apologizes and goes to the bathroom, where he has another flashback with his dead son. When he walks out, he goes to Kira and says that she cannot help him overcome his son's death. Will goes back inside the house and asks Eden if he can see their son's bedroom. Outside, David is lighting a red lantern, and Will decides to see the rest of the recruitment video. Pruitt interrupts him, saying that they are waiting for him. Will goes and sees the others. Wine is served, and David makes a toast. But something is wrong, and Will knocks off everyone's glasses except for Gina's. He says that they mustn't drink, and turns to Kira. Sadie screams at Will, and Will pushes her away. Sadie falls and hits her head, and everyone is worried that she may have died. Kira notices that Gina is not breathing, foam coming out of her mouth. Miguel tries to save her, but David shoots him with a gun. Will, Kira, and Ben are frightened. Pruitt takes the gun from David and kills Choi. Tommy is outraged about Miguel's death and confronts Eden, who kills him with a knife. Will and Kira lock themselves in a room. Through the window, they see as David and Pruitt kill Ben. Will and Kira try to escape. David calms down Eden, who is upset about the poisoning failure. He says that they have been chosen to do this, and that they can leave this life in peace. Will discovers Sadie is bleeding out, having impaled her body with a fireplace poker. As she dies, Will takes the fireplace poker and goes upstairs to the garage. Pruitt appears, holding the gun, and Will attacks him. They both fight, and Kira kills Pruitt with the fireplace poker. In the hall, Eden shoots Will in the shoulder. She feels terrible and turns the gun on herself, shooting her belly. As she lies on the floor bleeding, Kira takes the gun. In the meantime, David is searching for Eden. Will shows up and tells him that Eden is dead. David looks content, saying that she is with them now. Will warns him not to come any closer, but David is not afraid, as his time has come. Holding a butcher knife, he approaches Will, but he is stopped by Tommy, who has survived from Eden's attack. Tommy and David scuffle, and Tommy kills David, stabbing him in the gut. Close by, Eden is laying on the floor, still alive, but at the brink of death. She tells Will that she too is missing their son, and beckons him to take her outside. Will carries her out, and as Eden dies, a terrible commotion echoes in the distance. Police cars and helicopters are almost everywhere in the hills. Will and Kira look at the many red lanterns at the other hill houses and realize that there were other cult members that night who were carrying out the same sinister plan.